Hello again, and welcome back to Scott and Wander's world. The world of Scott and Wander. It's not a bullshit beer review. It's not a fat man sits in the shed talking about the beer he's currently drinking type video. It's a review of the year, not review of the year, like reviewing a beer. It's a review of the channel, really. Channel review 2023. I haven't done one of these before. Something completely new. It seems to be all the thing to do. I don't know if it is. I don't know if anybody else has done one, to be fair. But what I thought I'd do, something a bit different. Instead of just doing top 5 beers, top 5 worst beers. What else can we have? Channels that I've watched. It's fucking howling away. It's New Year's Eve. About 10:30 in the morning. Sat here talking to you wonderful people. Before we get started, I've got some notes that you can't see. Oh, where are the notes, Scott? Secret. There, where should we go? Well, thank everybody, really, that's tuned in, subscribed, unsubscribed, thumbs up, thumbs down, do whatever what you've done. I've had a great year on the channel. I've missed Wander, in all honesty. Absolutely loved. Thank you, Josh. You know who you are. Absolutely loved having the hours chat around Christmas with Wander. No offence to Dave. No offence to the Pandora's box that is parental alienation. But absolutely loved sitting talking to Wander about her love for Christmas. Hope everybody had a lovely, lovely Christmas. Want to wish each and every one of you a safe and happy new year. Looking forward to 2024. I'll be 49. One day closer to death. One day closer to death is what I said there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the month of the year. What we did on the channel. I did on the channel, not we. And just the highlights, the lowlights, the best beer, the worst beer, all that sort of thing. Hopefully have a little bit of a laugh along the way. And there'll be some serious stuff in there, I would have thought, as well, because there's some serious stuff happened over the year. And just sort of go from there, really. I suppose I better make sure I've turned this fucking camera on, because, you know, that's what I do. Pop that there. So, here we go. The end of 2023 in review by thee for thee. Not they and them and all that bollocks. So, taking a look at some of the highlights and lowlights of the year, month by month. Worst beer of the month, best beer of the month, top 5 beers of the year, and the worst 5 beers of the year. And all points in between. Now, for people that don't know, last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next day, you gave it away. Also, I fell ill over Christmas last year, so didn't do a great deal of beer reviews on the channel heading into January. So January came, and it started off quite slowly as I've been unwell at Christmas. I did a few alcohol-free beers, something I'd not really ever done before, and I actually quite liked it. I know people accuse it of bandwagon jumping in. Oh, it's dry January. Everybody will be doing alcohol-free beers and they won't touch them during the year. That's the whole fucking point of dry January, isn't it? Really. People have got absolutely smashed off their tits through Christmas, overindulged, and decided to take a month off. I've never been an advocate of dry January. I did a whole video on dry January. But whether you like it or not, the alcohol-free market is a huge and prospering business. I just think there's a huge market for this product, so why not dip your foot in around January time? I'm not a fan of Stoptober and all that bollocks as well. And let's be honest, we can all do with a little bit less alcohol in our life from time to time. Any channel, go and watch All Hail the Ale. Nick, he does a lot of non-alcohol and low alcohol beers, so always worth a watch. And I don't think it's bandwagon jumping. I think it's people that just want to sort themselves out. I talked about in that dry January video. I talked about my own relationship with beer, very honestly about that, and how I've used beer for sleep in the past because I had suffered and still suffer with insomnia, which is an issue that came about from a long-standing neck issue, but around my divorce and not seeing my son, and got myself into a state where, yeah, I think we'll leave it there. I also teased the channels that hate me. More on that later. I spoke about the worst and best Brewdog beers that I've done on the channel. Best beer of the month was undoubtedly probably Putty from Verdant, which was the first real hype beer of the year. The worst was the god-awful Little Donkey, which was a Christmas stout, spiced stout, from the sadly now defunct Donkey Stone. I missed Donkey Stone Brewery because I knew I was guaranteed let's be honest, it was a shit beer. But I always thought they made for good reviews. So I would never, my input into Donkey Stone Brewing is probably minimal. Fuck me. But it's all gone on now. Sorry about that. And then rounding out the month was bloody Knickknacks in Iceland, which ultimately saw the fall of a friendship. One of the lowlights of the year was sitting in the brewer's tap watching a video that was put out that reduced Wanda to tears, and I've still got that picture, and that video was an absolute disgrace, so much so that the video was removed by the content maker. The less said about that the better, but sadly some people still keep bringing it up a year later, and it really is time to move on. If you're making content around it, it needs to stop. February, we roll in to February. Rolling. A great little video showing you around the hidden parts of this glorious 8x4 foot shed. 4'5" or 8x5 foot shed. Showing you some of the memories and hidden bits and pieces that are contained within my little shed. Sadly, Wanda doesn't come out here that much anymore, which is, I think it's quite sad actually. Wanda did some cracking little pinch and non videos, which I thought were really, really good and actually deserved more views than they actually got. Never really been one to chase views, but I thought those little videos were great. February also saw the last episode to date of Back in Time Beers. It was Oakham Citra. Another one of my ideas. I have many, many ideas for this channel that just go by the fucking wayside and I forget about them or just move on to something else. I tried Snyder Vice beer for the first time, and it was a glorious moment in time. Lovely. I also did a little, well, me and Wanda did a little Valentine's video. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Our story in 20 questions, where we both answered the same questions, and I thought it was really great. Another thing that came and went, one episode, Crazy Crisp Combos. Never recorded another one of them. It's just, I come up with these ideas and then I just never follow them through. Undoubtedly, my beer of the month was a Schneider Weiss. The worst beer was the utter shit. That was the blueberry tart thing from Tiny Rebel out of Sainsbury's. It was fucking rubbish. Absolute rubbish. But then, to be honest, most things now that come out of Tiny Rebel are utter rubbish. Into March. We're marching forward. And March saw everyone on YouTube spunking £20 plus on the Guinness Nitro Surge. Here it is, all its glory. People are having a fit because I'm getting it out. I like the Guinness Nitro Surge. I think it's fun. You couldn't move for channels, picking up the fucking device, chucking it on any can that moved. Me included. I've done a can of Coke. I've done a Brewdog, whatever the thing's called now. Oh, you can't get any more. It was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. Some people took the piss and bitched about the people on the bandwagon. Who cares? It's a bit of fun. Who cares? You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. YouTube doesn't matter. You know, who gives a shit? It's a bit of fun. 20 quid. I got my money's worth out of it. Just making me money back. We can all sit and have a moan on YouTube, but having a bit of fun with a gadget is always good for a channel, and I don't see the problem. I really don't. I think it's a funny, little funny device. That's it's overpriced. Have I used it? Not a lot. Don't matter, do it. Brewdog released some new beers into Tesco's. The Guinness Beta for some, not for others. Blackheart, which I think is a decent stout actually. Used that on it as well. Got my money's worth out of that. People were smashing the Surger on the Blackheart. I did that as well. Like, it was going out of fashion. Arcade Made and the Vomit beer. What was it called? Palm Beach. The Pina Colada IPA Pale Ale, whatever it was from Brewdog. Why people keep making Pina Colada IPAs is utterly beyond me. It was terrible. Me and Wanda went to Diddley Squat Farm, which was a wonderful day out on the way back from our mini honeymoon from the Cotswolds. There were some new beers dotting around from other places as well. Best beer of the month for March was, for me, Elusive Brewing, and it was Midnight Oregon Trail West Coast Black IPA, which ramped up the bitterness because of that roasted malt. So you've got all the bitterness from Oregon Trail mixed in with that black IPA roasted malt. Fabulous. Worst beer of the month was obviously that shit from fucking Brewdog, the Palm Beach Vomit beer. I don't even know why I even bothered, if I'm honest. Into April, I've just seen fucking Hugo's had a dump out there. Into April. April showers. We shared some of our mini honeymoon at a converted water tower. What the fuck was that? A converted water tower in the Cotswolds, situated at the Cotswolds Sculpture Park. If you've not seen this place, it's fabulous. It's lovely little place. Very welcoming couple run it, and it was lovely. Unfortunately, Wanda fell ill, so we couldn't take full advantage of it. But we had made up for that when we went to Belgium later in the year. Also went to Star Wars Celebration in London, which is the big, for anybody that's a Star Wars nerd like me, it's the peak of Star Wars geekness, and I absolutely loved it. A tremendous day out with a lot of memories, mainly the £7 plus I paid for a pint of Starapramen from the machine. I don't know how they make a profit. Put a little video out on it, monetised it as well for fun. April was the birth of Mr. P. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you really should. Oh, in the past now, I'm glad to say. Mr. P even made a brief appearance, albeit a calamitous one, on the channel for a beer review, where his sound was all over the show, all over the place. I like having a bit of fun, so I hope anybody didn't take it too seriously. It was meant as a little retort. Also in April, I lost a very, very dear friend of mine. This chap that's sadly under there now, Lee Stevenson, hugely missed by a lot of people, and just a tremendously nice guy. Beer of the month for me was the Double Oregon Trail. That one. That came out at the same time as that one, which was absolutely fabulous. Not a huge fan of double West Coast IPAs, but that actually works. Worst beer of the month, nothing really stood out. Mainly for price, the Starapramen, because it cost me over £7 for a pint. Is that fair? I think that's fair. May the force be with you. Saw a few more food videos. Spicy Big Tasty from McDonald showed up, and everyone loves a McDonald, so no problem there. And everyone released a video because that's where you make your money. Simple. I say make your money, I'll probably just about make my money back on it. So when people say about making money on YouTube, I sometimes break even in a month. Nothing wrong with people doing McDonald's reviews. I think they're part of the course. You're going to do stuff. We each do things that we know is going to drive the channel. That's what it is. Flake and Sauce made its way into Sainsbury's. An absolute disgrace of a beer. Just absolutely horrendous. Asda dumped some new beers into their stores as well. Well, some of their stores, because Asda's beer stock policy would give Mother Teresa the fucking shakes, to be fair. And Stephen Hawkins would have his computer would be going mental. Some have a great stock of beers. The one near us doesn't got any. It's just does your head in, mate, to be fair. A couple of absolute cracking beers for the month as well, both from the same brewery, collaboration with some. First came Citra T90, which I think I've still got. Maybe I haven't. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, that's coming down. Let's have to go. Let's come down there. And Nimrod, which was Oakham and Lucid Brewing sharing their recipes for their two great beers. Best beer of the month is going to be hard to pick between the two, so I'm going to give that a draw. The Nimrod and the Citra T90, both absolutely cracking beers. Worst beer of the month, without a shadow of a doubt, was Flake and Sauce from Northern Monk. Just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Horrible beer. And we're marching into June now. And that's all the long-awaited 5th instalment of Chippy Trips. The last one to date. I always enjoy Chippy Trips with Wanda, but they're quite hard to get round to doing. We tend to fall out while we're doing them, and it's just a pain in the arse. But we will get round to episode 6, probably around May as well. Went to Wales. I went 100 miles an hour down a zip line and didn't die. Blue Van Man started sending me shit I didn't want or need, just for his own fucking amusement. Walker's released new crisps that were already crisps, but they made into crisps that tasted like other crisps. They were alright. I almost vomited on a pickled gherkin because I can't stand them. I did a pissed up review of Punk IPA, which if you haven't seen, go and watch it, because I'm absolutely hammered. The can falls on the floor and ends up spunking all over the fucking walls everywhere. So that was good. Northern Monk released another joke of beer, the Fruit Crumble with Custard Pale Ale. I don't know what Northern Monk were thinking this year. Profit over decent beer, I think. Just a horrific beer. Best beer of the month. Not many to choose from, but the Galaxy Single Hopped IPA from Salt Brewing was pretty decent. Worst beer, it's going to be one of those two from Northern Monk, to be fair. Both absolutely dreadful. Dreadful beers. Into July. My birthday's in July, if anybody wants to send me money. Started with a bang. With Paul Anna Weiss beer. Never had it before. Couldn't understand why when I done it. I drink a lot of Francis Kana because it's obviously the most easily attainable of the Weiss beers. But yeah, Paul Anna was very, very good, as was Schneider Weiss, as was Weihenstephaner, which I've had before anyway. Blue Van Man sent me a can of Clarkson's Sundowner, which wasn't bad. I tried the new Stella Artois crisps, which are up here, if you're interested. They weren't terrible. Newsflash, and actually, they're very nice. And thank you to my good friend Woody, 42 views. I'm going to download his album, who picked them up for me because you had to buy 2 pints of Stella to get them, and I'm doing that. I attempted another one of Scott's fads. I attempted the world record at alphabetic spaghetti arranging, and I failed. I recorded 2 long form videos. One asking the question, answering the questions that you'd asked, like which beer tubers do I like and which ones do I not like. One of them is no longer on the list. That list has shrunk by one recently. The Pipes of Peace are well and truly in motion. The others can fucking do one. Two-faced fuckers. And the second has the Craft Beer Bubble Burst. 6 months on, I think it's stabilised a bit. Supermarket offerings have been poor on the whole, but if you have some money in your pocket, there are still some decent beers out there to be had, but you're not going to pick them up in the supermarket anymore. Sadly, the £3, £4 price range is not, and the supermarkets and the breweries that are putting the stuff in there, they're going for adjunct heavy rubbish. Sadly, that we'll see what 2024 brings with the supermarket beer drops, but the last couple, you've had the odd decent beer, the rest of them haven't been tremendous. And I think there's a lack of innovation. I think the IPA market is sort of stabilised out. I know we've got cold IPA and all that sort of stuff. I tried the phenomenal Optimum. Have I got the bottle? Optimum from Sierra Nevada, which was tremendous. Reviewed Weihenstephaner, which I've probably got that one as well. Weihenstephaner, absolutely terrific beer. And drank a West Coast IPA in the world famous Delirium Cafe in Belgium, because that's what you do. July was packed month, and my favourite video so far on the channel this year. No beer, crap beer, and a decent... so it was the best month on the channel for me, July. And no crap beer, just decent stuff. Not difficult, is it? Into August. And it's all the new McDonald's McCrispy Deluxe arrive. Everyone loves a McDonald's, so that's fine. There's a race to be first. Sometimes it's Simon, bald foodie guy does them. Dave does them, I do them, and fucking loads of other channels do them as well. It's always funny to see who gets out first. I quite like the race for McDonald's. It's always good fun. Checkmate's Lager, released into Lidl's at the ridiculous price of £1.79 a can. Without doubt, the bargain of the year for me, £1.79. We had the atrocious, and I do mean atrocious, range from Aunt Bessie's box set from Northern Monk going to Morrison's, stank the place out. Just, again, an absolute monstrosity. Don't know what Northern Monk were playing at, to be fair, but there you go. Glencairn proved again, Glenafric proved again that anything they put into home bargains will be shit, without fail. With their ice cream and milkshake pale ales, just dreadful beers. But then Lidl dropped Zoom Time back into their range, out of nowhere. For me, they're Lidl's best craft beer. People had a meltdown because Conor McGregor put a stout into Asda, forged, which I thought was pretty good, to be fair. It wasn't bad. I put that on it to get my money's worth. So I dug out I dug out the old Nitro Surge a few times, actually. So I'm just trying to get my money back on them. I don't think I did, in all honesty. Also found that Asda had one of their best kept beer secrets from Volvas Engelmann Brewery. And it was a Weiss beer. 4 cans, I think they're about £4 a can, something like that. Fabulous beer. If you can get it, they're in the World Food aisle. I don't know if they're still there, but they were I know Simon, Real Ale Craft Beer. I'll shout him out. He did them as well, and he said they were fantastic. I thought they were really, really good. Calling the beer of the month here could be difficult. But for me, probably Checkmates. Checkmates, for the price of it, was an absolute steal. And anytime you see it in Lidl for £1.79, you should be picking it up. Worst beer of the month of August would be the Undrinkable 4 box set from Northern Monk. The apple thingy, the roly-poly pudding's dreadful now, and the other two were shit as well. September, one of my favourite months of the video for the... One of my favourite videos of the year I made. My good friend Woody asked me to take a listen to his new music and review it for him. And I don't think he was quite expecting the way it was to turn out. And you can find it on all good music platforms. It's called Trust is a two-way street. It's by 42 Views. Go and give it a download. If you've got Apple Music, it's not going to cost you anything. Woody gets a 1p every fucking million downloads. If you haven't seen the video, go and watch it. I absolutely love. I don't watch my own videos. I love that video because I just took the piss out of his music. So go and give it some love if you've got 35 minutes free. Then the month was taken over by the Lidl German October box, Beer Fest box. 10 beers for £24. Some people thought it was a bargain. Other people disagreed and said they could get the beer for £2 cheaper. Load of crap. It was a terrific box of beer. And what it did was it brought a lot of good chat to beer channels. And it brought a lot of attention to German beer in general. I thought it did its job for me. It's still down here, the box actually. I don't think you'll be able to see it. I can get it out. It's still down here. And I thought it brought a lot of attention to channels. There was a lot of good discussion around it. I think Lidl missed a trick actually by they've got a German box, a Christmas box. That I thought they should have put that in at Christmas. I thought they missed a trick really because I thought it was great. I really did. Reviewed all the beers and some were terrific. Some were very, very good. There was the odd one that was okay. And I don't personally do a lot of German beer on the channel. So for me, the box paid for itself by that. I got to try beers that I was never ever going to try at a reasonable price and got some discussion going as well. And for that very reason, I thought it was great. Brewdog jumped on board with the disgrace of a Oktoberfest beer. I was very pleased to see that not a lot of channels actually picked that up and did anything with it. Aldi replied by bringing in Paulaner Oktoberfest, Erdinger Oktoberfest and Spaten. Some people think Aldi did a better job by bringing in those three than the box. Horses for courses, for me. Either way, it got people talking, and that can only be a good thing when it comes to beer. And I just thought it was great. Sainsbury's, Morrison's and Tesco's all then dropped within about a week of each other. Some were good, some were okay, and some weren't great at all, which was a bit sad to see, because as a beer channel, we like these drops because it gives us brand new content, you know, and that's what we're all after. Stand out in the three ranges for me was in Morrison's the Smug. I don't know if I've got the can. Faith in Futures IPA, which was terrific. Really, really decent beer. And it was the best of the lot, really. The shoddiest that I tried of that range was probably the Northern Monk Choc Ice Stout which from Sainsbury's. I just didn't get it. I thought it was not great at all. It wasn't, however, the worst beer of September. That would go to the Hop Forward beer from Aldi Hop Foundry, which was an insult to craft beer. Just horrendous, awful, and offensive. An offensive beer. Into October, and we're beginning to round the year out. A few more of new I've reviewed a few more of the new supermarket offerings, including Sup from Northern Monk, which was a half decent. This one here, which I thought was okay. The Northern Monk Pumpkin Spice Latte. I can't remember anything about that, if I'm honest. Automatic from North, which North very kindly sent to me. I thought that was okay as well. I've bought that since. Also, we took a look at some of the new Heinz Bean spicy ranges. I ate them cold. It was probably a mistake. I should have had them warmed up. They were all okay. I think they would have been benefited at being warmed through. Highlight of the month for me was getting to review West Velectron 12 with my friend Andrew, the former Beery Beast in the East, on Instagram, who sent me this letter and a whole box of beer that's still I'm still wading my way through. Labelled the best beer in the world by many, West for Electron 12. I liked it. It wasn't my favourite beer I've ever had. I've personally had better for my style of drink. McDonald's obviously made an appearance to annoyance of some with the Philly cheese stack, which was horrifically overpriced. It wasn't a bad burger, but it was just, yeah, horrendous, as are most McDonald's burgers, the special burgers these days. And we had the announcement of Scott's Big Mouth podcast, which is something I'm really into at the moment, and we'll come back to Scott's Big Mouth in a minute, because it's really, I like the podcast format. I suppose this long form is slightly podcasty, but yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed that. Then we took a look at the fact that Morrison's are taking the piss out of you by charging people for the Checkmates beer, which is $1.79 in Lidl, for over £3.5 for the same fucking can of beer. So if you're going to pick up Checkmates, pick it up in Lidl if it's around. Profiteering at its absolute best, and Morrison's should be ashamed of themselves. I also posed the question, what's gone wrong with supermarket craft beer in October? A video I stand by, as the quality on offer currently in the supermarkets is substandard at best, and it sucks. It sucks that we're paying £3 a can for, and that's where most of us are going to buy our beer from, as average Joe Blow fucking people on the street. And I just think it's insulting, and it's an insult to the consumer. And we had another horror show from Northern Monk, ruining their Transient, which is a fabulous beer, by making it a pina colada, chucking coconut and pineapple into it. It was terrible. Beer of the month, it's got to be West for Electron 12. Right, I don't think it's the best beer in the world, but it was head and shoulders above everything else, obviously. I haven't done a lot of really quality beer this year. I took at the start, so I was going to do stuff that you guys could get more than anything. November. So we started with two atrocious beers, both from Glen Cannick, a subsidiary of Glen Affric. I don't know why they bother. God awful into Home Bargains. One was the undrinkable Christmas Spice Red Ale that I thought was dreadful, and then you came the most offensive, the Christmas Pudding Stout. Now, that's a Christmas Pudding Stout, not that godforsaken pile of dog shit. It was horrendous. These beers insult every fibre of craft beer and the people that dare to buy them. Home Bargains should be ashamed of themselves for stocking such absolute rubbish. But people bought them, so they ain't going to care, really. KFC released their Christmas burger, the stuffing stacker. At least it was Christmassy, unlike the big cheesy from McDonald's, which I've actually changed my mind about. I quite like. Again, expensive, but at least it had a whack of stuffing, which I thought was actually quite nice. It wasn't a bad burger at all. And we saw the first episode of Scott's Big Mouth podcast. And the first episode is something I'm very, very proud of. The first issue tackled was parental alienation, a subject I've wanted to discuss for a really, really long time because it's very personal to me. Sadly, the time, effort and digging up of old stuff has taken a huge mental toll on me and left me a little bit broken at the moment, and it's opened up a Pandora's box on my mental health, and I'm struggling to shut that lid back down. But I am extremely glad that I've got that video out there, because I think it's a subject that really does need discussing much more. It's such an important subject, and we're going to get into the CMS next year because I've got a guy coming on to talk about the CMS. So yeah, and unbelievably in November, the Pointer sent me a one of their Pointer 3 machines after I'd absolutely slated their first machine. I did an unboxing and first look video, and first impressions are favourable. And actually, I still like the machine. The look of the machine is really good. The build of the machine is really, really good. It's just that I can't get a decent beer out of the fucking thing. There's so many. Oh, you've got to condition it at 1 degree. You've got to do this. Well, nowhere does it tell you any of that. So, but I've got one more beer to brew, so we'll have a laugh. I was also sent some beer by the Best of British Beer, which I've still got some videos to go out. Just Christmas took over and etc, etc, etc. So thank you to the Best of British Beer. I had some great beers from them. Best beer of the month for me came from Sure Shot, and it was called I Used to Be an Explorer. I used to be an adventurer. I do apologise. Which was a cracking beer. I've had some great beers from Sure Shot, not also on the channel, but a terrific brewery. And the worst beer of the month was the joint effort from that god-awful Glencairn shite, the Christmas pudding and the spiced red ale. We're coming to December, final month of the year, largely taken up by the Advent calendar and the appearance of Hugo, the Hungarian Vizsla, our dog that terrorised me for the whole month. But I loved doing the videos with Hugo. He's a lovely, lovely dog, a very nice temperament, and we're very lucky to have him. We took you to the most Christmassy pub in London. Wanda loved it. It was right. And then I gave an honest review of Space Hopper, West Coast edition on the Pointer. It was okay. It was okay, but again, too many if, buts and maybes with the Pointer, to be fair. We had 3 episodes of the Scott's Big Mouth podcast, including a cracker with my good friend, the Blue Van Man, and my favourite video of the year so far, with Wanda, talking about her love of all things Christmas. It was just fantastic. I loved every minute of that video. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it or listen to it on any of your podcast download facilities. Also sent a huge box of beer by Andrew and Deanne, which I'm still making my way through, which also contained my beer of the year, Krampus. Absolutely tremendous. Worst beer of the month, sadly, was the Pointer beer. Didn't have any really bad beers apart from that, and it was just a foam bomb. 3 pints of foam, trying to get anything out. December also saw hands extended across the battlefield of YouTube, reaching a peace and putting to bed a lot of the nastiness that's gone on over the last 2 years. Truly in the spirit of Christmas, if only other people could move on and stop dredging up the past, that would be nice. But Simon, Real Ale Craft Beer, wishing you a very safe and happy 2024. So that's the year in a nutshell, really. Some great moments, some pretty good videos, I think, without blowing my own trumpet. I think I've developed as a beer reviewer this year. I actually really like the podcasting, and something we'll be doing a lot more of next year. So look out for that. I'm very excited by the podcast. This isn't one of my ones that's just going to disappear. It's here to stay, I think. So 5 beers of the year, my top 5 beers of the year. Number 5, I'm going to go with the Schneider Festweiss that came out of the little craft beer box, which I thought was absolutely tremendous. Number 4, although it's not my favourite beer of the year, and it's not the best beer in the world, I'm going to go for Westy 12, West Velectron 12, which I thought is a cracking beer. Number 3 is Hoptimum. We saw that earlier from Sierra Nevada. Number 2, this bastard, this almost won it, the Oregon Trail Black IPA, which is fabulous. And number 1, my favourite beer of the year, is Krampus. Speaking, which brings me to the 5 worst beers of the year. Number 5, Hop Forward, Hop Off, from the Hop Factory, whatever it's called, whatever it's from Aldi. Dreadful. Number 4, the fruit crumble and custard pale ale from Northern Monk, which was god awful as well. Number 3, flake and sauce from Northern Monk as well. Number 2 was Little Donkey from Donkey Stone Brewers. Sorry, Donkey Stone, you had to make it in there. And number 1 of my worst beer of the year was Anything by Glencairn. Sadly, oh shit. Channels I've enjoyed watching this year. This should annoy some people. I'm going to do 10 channels I've enjoyed watching this year. Number 10, Northern Southern Beer Reviews. Jonathan Brown. No nonsense, good fun, and thoroughly enjoyable channel. Number 9, my friend Dean. Dean's Beer Reviews. Doesn't do as much now, but just a lovely, lovely man, and always worth watching. Number 8, Bands, Bikes and Booze. Bob, fantastic channel. Really, really like watching Bands, Bikes and Booze. Number 7, when it was around, The Gloves Are Off with Curtis Woodhouse, boxing. Sadly hasn't uploaded for a little while. Number 6, Up Front with Simon Jordan. I think Simon Jordan's terrific. So thoroughly enjoy his interview and style. Number 5, I've Had Worse, David J. Absolute cracking beer channel. If you don't subscribe, go and give him some love. Number 4, I've got to stick him in there, the Blue Van Man. Why not hire Scott? Fuck off, Dave. Number 3, Joint, Screen Crush and New Rock Stars for their Marvel and Star Wars content. Number 2, The Overlap, Stick to Football. Roy Keane has become a national treasure to me. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And my favourite channel of the year, Beardo Gets Scared, who debunks all sorts of paranormal nonsense. So go and give these guys some love as well. We've lost some channels. This year. Barry from All the Beer No Ideas called it a day, which was very sad. Always got time for Barry. He sent me a very nice message over Christmas, and I responded. So hopefully one day we can share a beer again. I would very much like that. Also lost Mark, the Craft Beer Hub. Well, I didn't lose him. He's still here. He's just not uploading anymore from the Craft Beer Hub. Never really got to know Mark. He was on the other side of the fence with the others, who shall not be named. Checked in with his channel occasionally, but always sad to see anybody sort of quit. This is a hobby, but it can take its toll on family life. From what I understand, he wants to spend more time with his little girl, and fair play to him. I always enjoyed the stuff that I watched from him, so it's always sad. I've thought about quitting many, many times. So when you see other channels quit, it's always a bit sad, really. There was another channel that quit more time than I had hot dinners, but you go with it. What are my highlights of the year? First, didn't die this year. That's lucky. Unlucky for some, I would have thought. Plenty of people have wished me dead. And death threats, they come in. They're always good to read. So that's always good fun. I'm loving the freedom of Scott's Big Mouth podcast. I like doing my beer reviews. They're nice and easy to do. Getting my teeth into subjects that don't really fit elsewhere. I've really, really enjoyed that. So I'm hoping that's going to go further. And to see that people are actually downloading it on things like Spotify and Apple. I don't make any money off of that. But I'm hoping that's going to progress. I've got some fantastic guests lined up for the new year. So stay tuned for the podcast. Thoroughly enjoying it. Well, wind's coming. The Christmas podcast with Wanda was an absolute joy. By far my favourite video of this year. Just getting to show Wanda off to the world. Sadly, other people have ruined Wanda's time on YouTube. But getting to see her talk about her love of Christmas and just showing people her personality was wonderful. Seeing people thumbs down that video, I don't give a shit, but it makes you should be taking a fucking look at yourself, because the woman is completely harmless. The Little German Beer Box for me, one of the highlights of the year. Genuinely got people talking, and I thought it was fantastic. Brought a lot of people across all channels. And as ever, I got to try some tremendous beer. And speaking to you guys, comments from you guys, absolutely love reading the comments from you guys. There's been some absolute crackers from Billy Wilson, Martin Casper, Pompey Jim. I could go to Death by Cocktail, Lee. They're all sorts. Just love it. And some of you people have become my friends. Lowlights of the year. The negativity. The negativity of YouTube is ridiculous. People making negative content just for reaction. People leaving disgusting comments just for reaction. People trying to provoke you just for reaction. And because of this negativity, Wanda wants no part of it. And can you blame her? Saturday mornings, they always used to be fun. For again, if you know, you know. Hopefully, those days are long gone now. Say the pipes of peace. I'm hoping that's going to stay that way. Nobody comes onto YouTube to roil, to fall out, to stir the shit. What some people do, but yeah, it's been the last month's been nice. It really has. At the end of the day, it's never going to be perfect, but it's nice to just take a little bit of a deep breath and sit back, relax, and not worry what's coming next. That's my review of Scott and Wander's World for 2023. Been an interesting year. I've had some fun. I've had some laughs. I've had some tears, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've never been one that's worried about views. I'm not worried about subscribers. I like having the comments. I've always done YouTube to sit down and do my video, and it takes me away from the real world problems for 20 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes, or in case of the podcast, an hour sometimes. And that's how I've seen it. It's my getaway. So, yeah, thank you to everybody that's contributed to Scott and Wander's World this year. Whether that's commenting, thumbs up in, thumbs down in, subscribing, unsubscribing, the channel members. We've got about 20 channel members. Some of you have been with us since day one, and we thank you. The channel couldn't survive. Well, it could, but it would be a lot more difficult without you guys. So thank you ever so much. It really is appreciated. All that's left to say is we wish you, from myself and Wanda, and Hugo, and Leah, and Chantal, and Jack, and Josh, a very happy, safe, and prosperous 2024. Look after yourselves. If you've got kids, give them a kiss, tell them that you love them, and see you next year.